Hey guys, welcome to my build. The build is a two-handed Frostweave build with near 100% crit or 100% crit. Main objective of the build is to have a lot of crit damage, a lot of crit chance. With your two-hander, you're going to be dealing huge crits at a very consistent rate. Currently I have 100%. You can easily hit 90% with Frostweave. So let's get on with the build. For attributes, what you want to do is spec into toughness and wisdom. So currently I have a 3:2 toughness wisdom ratio. Wisdom actually is super beneficial for us over ferocity, because most crit builds build ferocity because it gives crit chance, but actually for Frostweave you want to build wisdom because wisdom gives you ailment chance, and Frostweave turns your ailment chance, your freeze chance specifically, into crit chance. So you get a benefit of having higher ailment chance with higher crit damage as well. So you're killing two birds with one stone. You want to have high ailment chance to quickly stack up your ailments for Immortal Offering and Bleeding Edge passive, which I'll show you guys later. So let's go into the passive tree. Where you're going to start out is the soldier tree. You want to take the wild card because it's a huge boost to crit chance score, which is good for us since we are a crit build. Next, you want to move on to the Cabalist tree. So you want to take these two nodes, maximum ailment stacks. Maximum ailment stacks would help a lot because bleeding edge scales with the amount of stacks you have on an enemy. So the more ailment stacks they have, the more damage you do. I'm not taking Insidious Decay because a lot of my gear, my jewelry have plus ailment stacks on it. So I don't really feel the need to get the extra 2 ailment stacks and have a decrease in damage, because honestly the main point of the build is to see big numbers. So 30% decrease to damage isn't too much, but I feel like the passive node can be spent somewhere else more beneficial. Alright, so next up you want to get Immortal Offering. This is really overpowered right now, so you get a multiplicative damage buff for every ailment stack of every type. In this build and the gear I'm running, I'm currently holding about 6 ailment stacks, but you can actually do 7. But I'll have to add in another skill into my rotation, which I'm not too keen on, because personally I feel that it's a little bit clunkier, but if you want to go for it, sure, you can get all 7 ailment stacks with the build. I'll talk about it more later in the skills department. So next up you want to get is Power the First Man. So this would help you to stack up your ailment stacks faster. It essentially doubles the amount of ailment stacks you put on an enemy. So you get 50%, 25, and 25. Next one you want to get is Grievous Afflictions. Your skills now can apply an additional ailment, so this helps with stacking ailments as well. Next up you want to go to Time Weaver. So actually picking up which time cannot heal, I don't know whether if it's intended or is bugged, but it doesn't proc on crit damage. It takes your hit damage and then your crit damage part isn't calculated, so it's more of a 25 to 35% multiplier instead of a double damage multiplier, because our crit chance is 400%, so normally your hit damage should be about a quarter to 35% of that. But it's still a very good node because it's very efficient. You're just taking 2 nodes for such a huge multiplier. All the best nodes in the game. Next, you want to get more ailment stacks. More ailment stacks. And Dire Juncture. So the biggest danger in the game is getting one shot. So this would help as it mitigates half of the damage first, about half. And your resistances will also be taken into account twice as well. So that's why it's so good, even though there is a little bit of a health sacrifice, but generally speaking, one of the best defensive nodes in the game as well. Okay, next off, you want to move to Child of Fury. You want to get Furious Appetite. So as a rage build, you have to have a lot of rage and you don't need any willpower at all. So this helps us out with rage management. And Frenzied Blows. So when you have enough gear and you know how to do a proper rotation, you can always keep up your rage above 750. So this is a double damage multiplier. If you can keep up your rage, this node will massively boost your damage. Alright, now moving on to the assassin tree. You want to get Merciless Lethality. Although there's a 30% damage reduction, it's an additive damage reduction. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge deal, but the 60% crit damage is really, really good. Before that, it was about 100 crit damage, but they nerfed it in one of the more recent patches, but it's still really, really good. Alright, so next up, you want to go to the Scholar tree. Why are we going to the Scholar tree? You get you get Rage cost reduction. So normally I'll just call it RCR, Rage cost reduction, and you're gonna get maximum willpower and rage as well. So this is really nice, and as well as we want to get the elemental ailment chance and the ailment chance score. So this helps us out with building ailment stacks as well as to give us extra crit chance from our Frostweave. Next up, I'm going towards the Praetorian tree. So you want to get all resist, since our all resist will be pretty low, as we won't be taking a conventional heavy chest piece. We'll be using Frostweave, so we'll have lesser all res. So you want to balance it out using some nodes in the tree as well. Next up, you want to go to Siege Breaker, take the all res. Yeah, you can take block efficiency here, it doesn't matter, but you want to get the all res node here. So it's recommended that you go by this path instead of taking physical damage or more physical damage, because you'll find that this build is a little bit on the squishier side. You can't face tank every single thing. You do need to dodge certain mechanics, but it's very rewarding. So you want to get Salvatory Anchor. This buffs our helmet a lot, because this buffs your chest piece a lot. However, we are not really using a heavy chest piece, we're using a rogue chest piece. So Frostweave is a rogue chest piece in nature, so this isn't really important, but you want to get elevated gain. So you want to get this for your helmet, so it essentially doubles your resistance score on your heavy helmet. We'll be using a heavy helmet, and I'll talk about it, more of the gear requirements later on in the gear section. Alright, so let's move on to Plaguebringer. We're gonna path up to Toxic Emanations for 3 poison stacks. Some people have an iffy view about this, but especially for clearing mobs and whatnot, this really helps you get extra Immortal Offering stacks. While pathing to Eos, you want to grab this Warlock Duty to Exterminate. It gives you more willpower and rage, makes it easier to manage your rage for Frenzied Blows, where you need 750 and above. Alright, so next up we're going to Eos tree. So Frostweave by nature has, if I'm not mistaken, health and force shield. So whenever you get hit by something, you're gonna proc this, because you can see I only have about 1800 force shield. So any hit will immediately make it below 50%. So this is a multiplicative passive. You get 25% and additional 10%, so it's 35% weakness multiplicative buff to your damage, not weakness, sacred damage, so it's really good. And then you want to path on to Dawn's Pyre Striker and Sudden Death. So this makes it so that dealing sacred damage instantly kills enemies below 15% of their max health. This includes bosses if you take Sudden Death as well. 15% is huge. Imagine if a boss has 100 million HP. You just need to do 85 million to kill it, and it works beautifully in party play as well, because in party play you have bosses with up to 500 million HP. So 15% of that is going to be a huge amount. You just need to hit it down to, let's say, about 60 million, and you don't have to do 60 million more. So this is a multiplicative passive as well, which is really good. We're all looking for multiplicative passives because it scales very well into the end game. Alright, so next up we have Virtual Stance. This basically gives us a 15% chance to double our damage, which is really nice. And then for the final part is Flowering Flames. If you can't survive if you don't have enough resist, you don't have to pick this. But if you feel that you currently are not too squishy and you want to have a faster clear time, definitely take this because it's gonna increase your attack speed. Of course, with higher attack speed, you gotta manage your rage more, and you have a little bit more difficulty trying to manage your rage because you'll be using more skills. But when you spin more, you do more damage. Alright, so next up is skills. Let's start off Wings of Ishmael. So Wings of Ishmael is a really nice movement skill. First up, we're going to take increased flight speed. This makes Wings of Ishmael activate really quick, and you feel like you're god speed rather than it being sluggish, because without this skill, it can feel sluggish. Let me show you. Yeah, so it's really slow, but if you take flight speed, it goes really fast. Yep. Next up, you want to have Stunning Apparatus. You get a buff for each enemy hit on landing. Next up, you want to get Increased Ailments chance score, so you can stack up your weakness and stasis chance for personally for myself. You want to have this as well. Skill loses its cooldown and uses stamina points instead. So you can spam this skill a lot. For rage generation, so currently you get 100 rage every time you activate it, and creates a vortex before landing, so this is like a mini anomaly. It helps with pulling mobs in. Some people, they like to put rage generation. If you're having trouble trying to maintain rage, you can take out Glance Above, and you can put in rage generation, and you can put in something else if you want to, but personally I have no problems generating rage, so I don't have to put it here. Alright, next is Juggernaut. So Juggernaut does a lot of damage. It can easily crit for 8 to 10 million. Alright, so you want to get grants rage when receiving damage. This helps with rage generation. Inflicts a portion of your weapon damage on enemies attacking the shield. Damage absorption. Yeah, so this is the most important part. So you can use this to generate fire ailment stacks as well, since it converts physical damage to fire damage. Reduce the rage cost, reduce the cooldown, increase the absorption. So you want to try to get it to as low as a cooldown as possible. So what you normally do, I use it for is, I don't really use it defensively, I use it offensively. So what you want to do is just double click it and explode it straight away. The faster you explode it when the shield has a higher portion of the absorption, the more damage you do. So you can use it to burst down bosses, or try and get the boss to a weakened state. That's where you won't really have to worry about dodging mechanics or whatnot, since he's in a weakened state. So next is Warpath. Increase movement speed, faster clear, faster traveling. Charge the skill to travel for longer. Yeah, this is really important. You really need this. Although if your movement speed is really fast, it may be a little bit hard to control, but playing the game more, feeling out the skill, eventually you'll get good at it. Next is converts to fire damage, so this helps with fire ailment stacking as well. Grants rage when hitting enemies, and yeah, so you won't get interrupted by CC while you're charging. Next is Sovereign Shout. What you want to get is shouts are inflicted by weakness. This is really good as well, but currently it's bugged out, so I don't use it. If you're doing a two-hander block build, you can get this as well, but currently we're not going to do that. Increase duration. You want to get stamina points, so you can spam Wings of Ishmael more. Critical chance buff, effectiveness, and movement speed. Alright, so next is Flight of Governor. You're gonna get this as well, converts physical to damage, to fire damage, sorry. So this will help out with your burn stacks. You're gonna launch 2 hammers instead of 1, you hit more mobs, you get more stacks. You want to get a boost of damage, so it says a random damage type, but it's always lightning, it's always gonna be lightning. I don't know whether if it's a bug or intended, but it keeps giving me lightning, and it keeps giving my friends who've tested it as well lightning as well. And hammers pulls enemies towards you along its trajectory. This is very nice utility. Alright, so I'm going to show you that it gives you lightning instead of a random damage type. So let's activate it. See, it gives you lightning damage. and on the skill as well, extra damage is dealt as lightning. So let's wait for it to expire and then we'll try it again just to show that it's always lightning damage. Lightning again, and extra damage is dealt as lightning. So I think it's a bug. Hopefully they'll fix it to a random damage type. Alright, next is our bread and butter, leading edge. You're gonna get increased projectile speed, so your axes spin faster, will hit the enemy more and more, so you get more ticks of damage. Next is area of effect. This makes life and clearing much easier, much more enjoyable. Next you want rage reduction, so you can spam more of it. If you have no problems with rage, you can also take increased damage, but I'm very used to the rage reduction, so I like this more. So this is what makes the build. Despotic Perseverance increases damage per ailment stack, so the more ailment stacks you do, the more damage you do. And then X follows you around, good quality of life. So that wraps it up for skills. I did mention that this build can have 7 ailment stacks, so what you want to do is switch up Juggernaut for Anvil's Woe, and because of Anvil's Woe you can convert your base lightning base physical to lightning. You can get shock stacks as well. So currently we can have 6 stacks: bleed, toxic from toxic emanations, fire from my different skills, weakness, curse from the trial belt, and stasis from my weapon. But if you want to get shock, which is the last ailment, you have to use another skill like Anvil's Woe. Alright, so that's it for skills. Let's move on to items. So what do we want to look for in gear? Let's start off with jewelry. So for jewelry, because of Frostweave, you need to have your hits must have a freeze chance. So you need to have at least 1 ring or 1 amulet. Okay, sorry, 1 ring to have frost damage added to attacks. So this will be able to proc your Frostweave. If not, Frostweave will not proc. Look at my crit damage. Oh, sorry, crit chance. So you do need some some frost damage in order for Frostweave to work. So you're gonna use this. What you want to look for a ring is frost damage on one of the rings. You want to look for transfer time between willpower and rage. You want to look for crit damage. You want to look for maximum health. You want to look for elemental ailment chance for more crit chance. You want to look for additional ailment stacks, so helping you build up your ailment stacks. So this one is really nice as well, because although it doesn't have ailment stacks, you're getting transfer time and some additional max willpower and rage. And this one, you're getting crit chance, crit damage, ailment, health, some additional flat rend damage, and transfer time. This amulet is really nice for us. Alright, now moving on to a helmet. So for a helmet, this is our main source of resistances, so you want to have as high a all-res helmet as possible. So you kind of want to get like 600 and above. Looking for cooldown reduction, looking for wisdom as well, attack speed. A lot of people have a very weird view on attack speed. Personally, a lot of people don't like it, but I personally like it because if I can sustain my rage, then I can spam more skills with the faster attack speed. So the more skills you spam, the faster you go. The more damage you do, sorry. So for shoulders and gauntlets, you want to get rage and willpower cost reduction. This will allow you to spam more skills. Have a little bit of toughness in it there and a little bit of health to survive. So for our build, we're doing a lot of occult damage, but we also have a little bit of rend damage as well coming in. So plus % damage is actually pretty good. Same thing, ferocity, attack speed, ailment chance. This one has pretty high all-res score, which is really nice, and almost a max full rage cost reduction. Gauntlets, again, just pure damage %. Ailment chance, crit chance, wisdom. Yeah, ferocity, crit chance, yep. So for pants, I recommend bruiser pants. We won't be getting a lot of health from the passive tree, so we want to get a pretty healthy pants with a lot of health on it. So what you're looking for is as well transfer time, cooldown reduction, and various stats and crit chance, ailment chance score. For boots, The added +1 stamina point is just extra utility for rage generation using Wings of Ishmir. 40% movement speed is really nice. A lot of builds out there are using this passive called Disallowing Vessel. It's really nice. It gives you about 60% additive damage and 100% RS, which is quite substantial, but it reduces the amount of movement speed you have. It makes it feel like your character is really sluggish, and I didn't like the playstyle, so I'm all for higher movement speed. So 40% movement speed, it's night and day without having that on the boots. Alright, so let's now move on to weapons. Alright, so this is my sword. It's okay, not too good, not too bad, 1050. So important things on it is elemental ailment chance. So 300% elemental ailment chance is a huge amount. Alright, let's give it a shot with a sword that doesn't have it. It reduces my crit chance by almost 5%, or even more than 5%. So this elemental ailment chance really helps with Frostweave. And yeah, you want to get crit damage on it since we are 100% crit build, so there's a 30% there's a 30% damage multiplier for us. So what we're looking for in a sword is physical damage and ether damage. Currently mine has Sacred, which is really nice as well, so it's easier for me to proc weakness stacks. But you can go for Curse and Lightning Flat to reduce the to replace the weakness as well, to get 6 ailment stacks. You gotta play around with your sword, but personally I feel that physical, ether, and another flat which is not fire and toxic would be really nice. First, because fire, there's a lot of skills that can convert fire, and toxic, you do have toxic emanations already, so you can go for another ailment. Alright, so alternatives for the trial belt, if you don't have it, you can go for a champion's girdle. Look, what you're looking for is, let's say for my case, we do a lot of, our build does a lot of occult damage because of the EOS tree and our weapon having flat ether and sacred damage. So we want to have occult damage, we want to have all rest score, so this will help with surviving. You have max health as well, crit damage, and +2 ailment stacks. Alright, so I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks what you can do. So Flight of Gavonier, actually, you can actually extend the range of it. So normally people just throw it out, sometimes return it back, but you can make it an everlasting flight. Alright, let me show you how it works. So you throw it out, and then you start warpathing, and then you can just Wings of Ishmir, and the Flight of Gavonier just keeps going all the way. Alright, so I'll just show you some fast gameplay. So normally, why I picked this build over other builds where you have to pull a whole mob of monsters is because I didn't like the playstyle. I just wanted to hop between packs of mobs and just mow them down. So this really works out well for my playstyle, and it's really lazy as well. You don't really have to juggle between so many skills to get all your ailment stacks up. All you need to do is jump between a mob, put out your Flight of Gavonier for your damage buff. You can occasionally use your Juggernaut as well, and just go through the bosses. So yeah, we're hitting really big crits and at a very consistent pace as well, 100% crit chance. And as well as with our Flying Flames, we had at almost a 50% attack speed bonus, which is really nice because we're able to spam a lot of bleeding edges. So yeah, without doing much, we're already at 6 stacks. So it's a really lazy and easy build to play, because there's not much to it. You don't have to spam a lot of skills. 100 million boss. Let's burst them down. Alright, so that's the end of our build. 130, 40k tooltip. Alright, hopefully it helps you guys. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section or DM me. Alright, thank you.